podcast on Forge Lines Forever. Today, again, it's VORTEX versus Voodoo. Obviously, this map is Saltrock Colony. It's quite a big map. On the left, we've got VORTEX in his back in his ugly fucking mug with the Seraphim ugly face. I'm sure that looks like VORTEX. Look at it. So, oh well. On the right hand side, we've got Voodoo going the good old UEF. And you can't see any Voodoo in there because Voodoo is non-existent. If we have a look, standard build by Voodoo and the same standard build by Vortex as well, but he's not starting with an air factory this time. He's doing 2 land factories. Obviously in the middle, we've got Civilization. One of the very few maps that actually have civilizations in this game. As we can have if we have a look, you can see Siren ugly buildings. Surrounded by aerial defence. There, as you can see, aerial defence. 2 big ugly mugs. Surrounded by walls and point defences. Obviously these are easy to counteract. They just get T1 artillery in place and blow the shit out of them all, basically. Obviously you've got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. It's kind of like the United States Pentagon, but when everything starts going wrong, it goes really wrong on this map instead. So let's have a look. We've got us. Obviously Voodoo's naming his old admin account. Scruffy, I look scruffy. Well, Voodoo is scruffy, so what can we say there, eh? As we have a look, he's currently harassing a T1 engineer, and the engineer starts reclaiming the Mech Marine! But the Mech Marine failed in its mission. But we've got a tank which currently went straight for it, then done one. But we've got another tank heading straight towards him. Oh, we've lost. See, Scruffy's lost a scout. If you have a look, the ugly thing's just walking around, minding its own business. But here we go. It's going to get hit. Just wait for it. Wait for it. There it goes. There he goes. Boom! Baby! Wait there. The Seraphim can't even hit the motherfucker. Oh, there he goes. He's finally got killed. Well, if we have a look, as we can see, we've both got 2 people pushing, but we've got another Mech Marine called Freshy by Voodoo, which is currently harassing Vortex's engineer. Voodoo has currently got another 6 more land factories in production. He's also reclaiming the buildings, as we can clearly see. This is another strategy on this map of Saltrock Colony. Reclaim the civilians. Gives you quite a bit of a massive increase. Obviously, we've just seen Vortex doesn't seem to be paying attention much to his base, as he's just done 2 farms straight past Freshy, and he's got another 2 incoming, so he's going to get fucked up the arse big time. There we go, and he's gone. As we have a look, we've got a scout heading straight over the Saltrock Colony main base, and we've also got a bomber. So this is quite interesting that Vortex doesn't actually have an air factory. So Voodoo can go straight for air supremacy because he doesn't have an air factory. But he is building air units. So Vortex is currently going to be meeting Voodoo head on. Vortex will have units of 9 plus farms in his back garden. And you can clearly see he missed the engineer, but the impact did quite a bit of damage, but not enough to kill it. If we have a look on the right hand side of the map, we've got the 4 farms, which clearly should be pushing down onto Voodoo's base, but clearly not bothered with it. As we have a look, Voodoo is currently being assaulted by the 9 farms, and Vortex is going to bring his ACU in and start killing him. So Obviously, Voodoo is currently taking quite a bit of damage. Not enough to major assault him to make him run to the sea. But he's trying to run to the sea anyway, which Vortex shouldn't really allow him to do, because he doesn't actually have any units in supply. So Vortex is going to start really assaulting him. Probably going to start building T1 torpedo bombers on torpedo launchers next to Voodoo. As we have a look on the overall map consistency, we've got both of them pretty much even Stevens. Voodoo's got more mass income at the moment by a single mass extractor, which clearly Vortex doesn't have. And he's also got the hydrocarbon power plant, which Voodoo clearly doesn't have. As we can clearly see, Voodoo is slowly going to be pushing back to his base, because he's also got a T1 point defense building right next to his base. But Vortex will be going all the way around the outside side, really back to the middle. So, as we can clearly see, we've got 3 farms and 4 and mobile anti-air. And we've got the farm attack currently assaulting the pillars, no, the MA-12 striker tanks. But obviously the MA-12 striker tanks are the biggest pain in the ass Seraphine actually don't like. So, obviously that attack failed miserably. So basically, that PD has been built. Vortex is still running straight past the PD, but now he's going straight into retreat. Obviously, he's losing quite a lot of health from the point defense, because the point defenses are the worst type of things you can use against ACUs and any type of units themselves. The small attack force that Vortex had has now been killed. As we have a look, Voodoo is currently pushing up the top hand side of the map. So obviously Vortex is responding to that in kind. So basically Vortex is saying, I know where you're going, I know what you're up to, but you ain't getting there without my reinforcements getting there. As we have a look in the bottom of the sea fight, Vortex is moving away, Voodoo is going back to land. Voodoo has got a sea factory built up, but Vortex has got 3 sea factories built. So obviously this is going to be quite an air fight and a land fight. As we can clearly see at the top of the map, we've got the MA-12 striker tanks versus farms, and the farms are getting really mowed down like pieces of chicken on a farm. So that's not doing quite well for Vortex. Clearly, Voodoo has now got quite a bit of force. He's going to start pushing down the bottom again. If we just move over, we can clearly see Vortex has currently set a little bit of defensive motion intact. But we have a look at its little assault force at the bottom. The MA-12 striker tanks are meeting heavy resistance by the farms, as well as Vortex's ACU. So basically Voodoo's building T1 submarines. I'm surprised none of the pro players have seen we've gone for the middle. As we can clearly see, that's what happens when you come across the PD point defense against on the civilizations. You die. Unless you have artillery to shoot them. If we clearly have a look on the top side of the map, Voodoo is recuperating his units. Vortex is currently assaulting him. So obviously there's the Voodoo's reinforcements. That currently reinforcements the 4 MA-12 strike tanks that were left. But Voodoo is slowly pushing them away. If you have a look at the bottom of the map, you can see that Vortex has got a bigger land force than Voodoo. But Voodoo is currently chasing down Vortex in the sea. So that's not going to be quite nice. As we can clearly see, Voodoo has 2 T2 gunships up, but they're being harassed by the anti-ground air, as well as the air from the air. As we can clearly see, Voodoo's ACU is losing quite a bit of power because he's upgrading his ACU to have the gun upgrade, which will get rid of Sarah in 2 shots less and a hell of a lot faster. There's also a submarine fight going on between Voodoo and Vortex, and another submarine's going to be joining that fight very, very shortly. As we can clearly see, the Vortex's assault on the top has been quite thrustily vanished and destroyed by Voodoo. If it goes as it keeps, if it keeps going this way, Scruffy Vortex will actually lose this fight, like he did v Yamadrama. Obviously, Scruffy is the only one that actually, Vortex is the only one that actually decided to go through the middle of the map. Obviously killing the civilians, point defences and everything else. Obviously you can see there's 2 point defences left. And Vortex is currently moving his ACU through the middle into there. As we can see, Voodoo is now fully finished his gun. Look at that glorious gun upgrade of Voodoo's. That's going to really start causing the pain for Voodoo, for Vortex now, as he's Sarah, and he doesn't have anything to combat it. So Vortex does have quite a big force. If he actually used this, if he actually got a gun in his ACU, this would be pretty much even Stevens. Because Vortex would be using his ACU to assault the units that are currently assaulting and currently being killed by the civilian point defence. So he lost quite a bit of units there. Not a good idea not to kill them before you start running away. Obviously Voodoo has seen all this and is starting to move all of his units over there. If we have a look, a few shots are actually getting over the wall. Not many, but a few. Voodoo has invaded the land as well, as we can clearly see, but he's moving his MA-12 Striker tanks out due to the large amount of force that Vortex has in the middle. We've also got a nice little assault going by Vortex, but as you can clearly see, UEF gun equals artillery too fast for them to do any major damage. Let's put it that way. The UEF gun is the best defense against T1 Seraphim in the world. It's not as good as against Cybran, but it's the best against Seraphim. And as we clearly see, Vortex has done another stupid mistake, walked straight into the big dump of Voodoo units and didn't even back his ACU up. Another stupid mistake that's cost him the game, sadly enough. I'll catch you around for another time, and hopefully Vortex will do another game and he'll get his ass whooped again.